What if the fate of the next Lakers dynasty hinges not on sheer talent or loud declarations, but on the invisible chess game happening deep within the shadows of the franchise's power players? What if the biggest story unfolding this season isn't a trade, a signing, or even a buzzer beater, but the silence, the pauses, the cryptic social media hints, the absence of the king himself? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Tonight, we're diving headfirst into a story that feels like it's ripped straight from a thriller, but it's painfully real. LeBron James, the man who has carried the weight of Lakers' expectations on his back, is suddenly a ghost in his own kingdom, and the man holding his fate might just be Mark Walter, the Lakers' elusive owner, whose name barely cracks headlines, but could soon decide the very soul of this franchise. LeBron James, already etched in the GOAT debate alongside Michael Jordan, has long been the beating heart of this Lakers era, the leader who commands respect not just by stats or sheer will, but by his outsized presence in the culture of basketball itself. Yet, for all his dominance, we're watching a puzzling and frankly unsettling silence from the king himself. No official statement from the Lakers about LeBron's future. No grand welcome for new teammates. Just whispers behind closed doors, cryptic posts stirring speculation, and that deafening quiet where noise was once expected. While he was back in Ohio recently, LeBron dropped images that set the internet ablaze. Allie Clifton draped in a Cavs jersey tagged with proper attire, and LeBron himself rocking a hat that read, "Welcome home." Was this a nostalgic nod? A tease? Or something deeper? Los Angeles fans were caught off guard. Did the king really long for Cleveland again? The Post gave no conclusions, only questions, and the Lakers office. They remained silent, unmoved, or perhaps just biding their time. But the intrigue didn't stop there. The usual bulletins, LeBron's emphatic welcomes to freshly minted Lakers like DeAndre Ayton, were noticeably absent. No social media shout-outs, no warm endorsements, nothing. And if that wasn't eyebrow-raising enough, LeBron missed Bronny's Summer League debut, a high-profile event featuring Cooper Flock's first appearance. Bronny, after hitting his opening shots but fading into the background, struggled, missing a critical final attempt. Meanwhile, Flag shone brightly, fearless and buzzing with energy, capturing the crowd's attention and stealing headlines. Yet LeBron was nowhere to be found courtside. His daughters Savannah and Zuri were present, but the king himself was conspicuously absent, deepening the mystery. On the SI Open Floor podcast, Chris Mannix openly wondered, "What am I missing?" Here, he highlighted how LeBron's photo at the Cavs facility had gone viral, creating a whirlwind of talk that stretched from Ohio to LA, feeding rumors and unease. Mannix also revealed something perhaps even more telling. DeAndre Ayton, the supposed missing puzzle piece for the Lakers, reportedly told Luka Doncic he'd heard from Luka, but not from LeBron. How do you build chemistry when the king remains radio silent? And Mannix didn't stop there. He asked the question haunting all Lakers fans. How sure do you feel that LeBron will be in Los Angeles to start this season? The implication hung heavy in the air. Could the king, the very symbol of Lakers' hope, disappear from the purple and gold overnight? That's when Rachel Nichols stepped into the conversation. And if you know anything about Rachel, you know, she speaks with the authority of insider access and a pulse on the NBA's deepest currents. She didn't flinch. "I feel really sure," she said, offering a calm counterpoint to the swirling chaos. "This is a pattern that we see every year. It's been the case in Miami, in Cleveland, and now here in LA." Nichols suggested that LeBron's social media provocations, those carefully crafted breadcrumbs, are part of a deliberate play to stir up conversation and perhaps pressure the Lakers front office into action. But even with her confidence, she admitted the clock is ticking. It's getting harder for LeBron to leave LA at this point in his career. And importantly, Nichols ruled out a Lakers buyout. When Mannix floated the idea that maybe Mark Walter could orchestrate such a move, she hesitated. Would Mark Walter do it? Maybe, maybe not, but I doubt it. Why does Walter's name loom so large here? Because Nichols dropped the crucial truth. LeBron isn't on the team yet. That sentence alone shifts the entire narrative and places Mark Walter, not Lakers brass, not Rob Pelinka, not the coaching staff, at the center of the chessboard. The owner who remains behind the curtain might just be the final gatekeeper of LeBron's destiny, controlling a decision that could either ignite the Lakers' title ambitions or unravel everything they built around him. And then there's Bronny, an emotional subplot playing out under floodlights at the Thomas and Mack Center, a place where hope and heartbreak collide every summer. Bronny James, the heir apparent, the next generation, found himself struggling in a crucial matchup against Cooper Flagg. Bronny's first two jumpers, one of them. A three-pointer offered a tantalizing glimpse of promise, but then the scoring dried up. Just 20 minutes of playing time and a missed potential. Winning shot in the final seconds painted a tough reality for the younger James. Bronny was gracious, though, lauding Flagg as great and an amazing player he'd seen in college. Flagg, uncowed by the moment's weight, stamped his presence with 10 points, 6 rebounds, and a thunderous block that electrified the crowd, showing a fearless bounce and hunger that defied his age. As Flagg admitted, he was a little nervous, but fueled by excitement and the crowd's energy every time he touched the ball. Even a missed poster dunk drew an enthusiastic response, proof that the next wave of talent is coming, hungry, and ready to challenge the old guard. Yet, it's the absence that gnaws the most, the missing presence of LeBron James. While Savannah and Zuri sat courtside, the king himself was ghost-like, not at the game, not in the spotlight. Mannix's probing question encapsulated the collective concern. It's getting interesting with LeBron James. Not correct. Not at the game last night, right? A simple question, but loaded. Nichols admitted she had no idea where. LeBron was Los Angeles? Las Vegas? I have no idea, she confessed. Could it be distraction, strategy, personal space? Mannix tried to downplay it, but skepticism lingered. Every time LeBron moves, you feel there's a reason, he sighed. Nichols agreed, noting that LeBron has done an admirable job trying to let Bronny have his own spotlight, suggesting the absence might be both personal and strategic, a deliberate choice to not overshadow his son while navigating the immense pressure swirling around them. But when it comes to LeBron, nothing ever feels random. Every move, every silence is a loaded statement, a coded message only the most perceptive can decode. So here we stand, in the eye of the storm. LeBron James, the king, simultaneously the centerpiece and the enigma, caught in a crossfire between legacy and uncertainty, ownership and loyalty, public expectation and private decisions. Mark Walters. Shadow looms large. The man perhaps holding the key to whether LeBron's story continues in Los Angeles or pivots somewhere unexpected. The Lakers sit silent, the front office holding their breath as the season's opening chapter waits to be written. Meanwhile, Bronny battles on the stage. His struggles and flashes of brilliance, a microcosm of the franchise's precarious future. As a lifelong Lakers fan, I can't help but feel the weight of every missed signature moment, every silent Instagram post, every absence where there should be presence. We've seen dynasties born and broken on this very tension between hope and reality. So, is this the start of a new empire, led by LeBron's final stand in a front office that finally gets it right? Or is it the beginning of our unraveling, where silence and indecision bleed away the last glimmers of purple and gold glory? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading every one. Listen up, Lakers Nation. This ain't just another off-season drama to scroll past and forget. This is a full-on existential crisis for everyone who's bled purple and gold, who screamed at the TV when Magic turned to mayhem and believed in something bigger than just basketball. LeBron James, yes, the king who's turned every clutch moment into a throne, now stands at a crossroads so tangled, So loaded it feels like we're all holding our breath, deaf to a silence that's louder than any crowd chant inside Crypto.com arena. This isn't just about a player being undecided or a superstar wanting a break. Nah, it's the slow unraveling of a dynasty's heartbeat as the man who once chased championships like a man possessed drifts into the shadows, his voice muffled not by defeat, but by an unseen power broker literally holding the keys to his kingdom. You gotta understand the weight here. The King's contract isn't just ink and paper. It's a lifeline for this franchise's soul. Mark Walter, that quiet billionaire buried deep in the shadows, represents something cold and calculated amid a purple and gold haze of hope. And what he decides or chooses to withhold could either spark the Lakers' next reign of fire or condemn us to a stretch of desperation none of us signed up for. And what kills me, the part that stings like a betrayal, is the ripple effect on Anthony Davis, AD, the big brow, who shouldered so much pain, so many injuries, the silent workhorse who's been forced into the number one guy role before he was ready. Davis, grinding in the gym, battling a body that's more breakable than anyone wants to admit, now looks like a king without his crown's rightful partner. Without LeBron, does a D's brilliance cascade into greatness, or does it shatter under the crushing weight of expectation and isolation? This season might just be the defining battle for a D's legacy, a saga either of heroic rise or heartbreaking fracture, because when the king falters or fades, everyone feels the vacuum. And then there's Bronny, the son trying to carve his own battlefield while the world watches with bated breath, every missed shot, every fading moment on the court doubling as a brutal reminder that greatness doesn't transfer through blood alone. Bronny's struggle isn't just his, it's a reflection of the franchise's fractured identity, a microcosm of the pressure and the impossible standards bleeding down through generations. His fate feels tangled in LeBron's silence, and Mark Walter's cryptic moves like a chess piece caught in a game we don't fully see. And don't forget Austin Reeves' last season's surprise warrior, the heart and hustle guy whose quiet rise gave a spark when the big stars dimmed. What happens to that chemistry, that spark plug charisma, if the entire locker room mood shifts, from confidence to confusion, from swagger to uncertainty? Reeves' steady ascent might stall or ignite depending on whether this house of cards built on LeBron's presence stays intact. Now, zoom out, Lakers Nation, and picture the front office chess match that's playing out beneath all this noise. Jeannie Buss remains the face of Lakers royalty, holding the family legacy tight. But how much power does she truly wield these days? Enter Mark Walter, the billionaire with a business empire so vast, so deep, he could snap the franchise like a spine if he chose. Imagine the tension. The Buss family legacy and Hollywood glitz on one side, cold Wall Street influence on the other, a battle over the very identity of the Lakers. Does Jeannie fold or fight? Does Walter see LeBron as an investment to protect or a liability to cut once and for all? The power struggle could realign the Lakers beyond basketball, changing how this historic franchise positions itself in a league where money and control often dictate destiny. And history whispers warnings and hopes. Remember the 80s Showtime. Lakers with Magic and Kareem dancing through defenses. An orchestra of championship excellence crafted with love and vision. Or the dawn of the Kobe-Shaq era, roaring to a three-peat that seemed unstoppable, only to be disrupted by ego and injury. Or that 2010 revenge championship that sealed Kobe's legendary status, but also hinted at the fragility of dynasties built on raw talent alone? And then, the 2020 bubble, what felt like a magical victory whipped into existence by the surge of unity, purpose, and star power only, to be followed by years of decline, instability, and heartbreak that reminded us any dynasty is as much a house of cards as a throne. Now look at us, the last chalk outline of those glory days fading under the strain of a silent king, a distant heir, and ownership shadows deep enough to swallow the light. The ripple effect doesn't stop at the Staples Center. Look west right now. The Warriors sharpen their claws. eyeing more rings with their own blend of veterans and sharpshooters, while Denver's rising superstars loom like mountain storms ready to unleash chaos. Phoenix is hungry, the Clippers, ticking time bombs of untapped potential. The power vacuum the Lakers risk creating isn't just a franchise problem. It could redraw the entire Western Conference map. But what if that vacuum becomes a vacuum of desperation that forces Lakers brass to make wild moves, frantic trades, reckless gambles, all in a bid to keep the ship afloat? What if the thirst for glory blinded decision-makers until it's too late? Until the magic that once electrified purple and gold crowds is replaced by frustration and regret. Now imagine if LeBron finally steps back, not because he wants to fade quietly, but because the politics, the whispers, the cold corporate calculations have pushed him away like a king rejected by his own court. That image alone burns deeper. True legend sidelined by the very empire he built around himself. Or picture the flip side. LeBron emerging from this silence anew, fueled by the shadow wars beneath the surface, ready to smash through the noise and reclaim his throne. A final breathtaking run with a D, with Bronny watching from the wings, a perfect, almost cinematic last stand. But between those possibilities lies an abyss of uncertainty, every rumor and silence ticking down like a bomb waiting to explode. In the City of Angels. As a Lakers fan, since I first saw Magic break into slam dunk glories, since I wept with joy and pain through every championship and every off-season heartbreak, I feel a storm gathering so fierce it threatens to either cleanse or scorch this franchise forever. This isn't just a narrative of wins and losses. It's a story of legacy, love, betrayal, and relentless hope. And for all of us who wear purple and gold on our skin and soul, it's a gut punch that feels deeply personal, because it's not just basketball. It's family, identity, and dreams smashed or saved on a daily basis. So here's my call to arms, my challenge to every diehard casual or hopeful Lakers fan out there. Don't just watch the silence. Don't just absorb the rumors. Engage with the story. Feel the chaos and the heartbreak, because the truth is, this franchise has lived through every kind of storm and emerged either stronger or broken by its own weight. As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. The next few months will be a crucible that either forges a final, blazing dynasty or shatters the house we built in purple and gold for decades. Every missed social media post, every cold boardroom decision, every step Bronny takes on that court, they're pieces of a puzzle that could either light up our city or plunge it into the darkest silence we've ever known. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your rawest take below. Every true believer in purple and gold, tell me, is this silence the calm before our greatest storm, or the sound of a dynasty quietly dying? I'm fired up, I'm unsettled, and I'm ready for the fight. Are you?